Nigeria's Aliko Dangote has become the wealthiest, richest black man. In fact, that has been already long time ago. But now his asset or wealth has been doubled ever since he built the Dangote refinery, oil refinery company, bringing his asset or wealth to close to $28 billion. But is he happy? It's a monster business that has brought also a monster problem against Aliko Dangote. In fact, he expresses it or describes it. He just feels that like a man who built his dream house only to find out that the roof is leaking. What does he mean by this? Let me just give you a bit of, what he said. The pressure was coming from different directions. People confusing us, disturbing us every day with different media stories that it will never work, it will never work, it will never work, he said. But it worked out. This monster refinery company has a capacity to bring Nigeria to be self-reliant in oil production. But is the country treating him like one? No. In fact, recently, Aliko Dangote is now facing challenges with local oil marketers. Here is the thing. Let me give you a bit of historical background to this. Ever since he blows that whistle in the Afro-Exim Bank conference in the Caribbean about the international oil cartels, how they have been blocking his way, not to for him not to finish this oil refining company or preventing him from building this. He has been facing a number of challenges. For example, of course, he said that after already the refinery has been built and it started to work in January 2024. Now, he has been denied of crude oil from Nigeria, that he will use or the company will use to refine. His company has been defamed. He was also accused of selling a low quality petroleum to local, many things, but each and everything he has come out and has brought the evidence that what they have been saying is wrong. So now the second whistleblowing is done on, I think, 3rd of November. And what he said is this. Let me share this article with you. Look, now he is whistleblowing on the local oil marketers who are selling a substandard petroleum to Nigerians, putting the health of millions of Nigerians at risk. This is what he said, and ever since he said that, he has been also accused of by the different local oil marketers that he is his price is high, and they are trying to put him out of the business, but he's selling a high quality petroleum. This is why those international oil companies, the same companies that that have been trying to prevent Aliko Dangote from bringing to this refinery company to reality, now they are lined up to buy refined oil and also jet fuel all kinds of things what Aliko Dangote produces, because this is a high standard, that things that they will never get, not in Europe, not any other parts of the world. Okay, this is why they are lined up. Here is, what he said. The marketers' fear is born out of the recent attacks on them by Dangote Industries Limited, especially the decision to go public with the ex-depot price of petroleum premium spirit produced by, its refinery company, which has a capacity of 650,000 barrels per day. Now, with the veil on the OPEC and secretive fuel purchase regime perpetrated by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation and fuel marketers finally broken by Dangote, Nigerians now have an idea of what it costs the national oil company and marketers to either bring in refined petroleum products from abroad or buy locally from Dangote refinery, with a period when marketers can make huge margins from refined products sold in their stations, expected to come to an end soon. So he said exactly what kind of price they are buying and what kind of price they are selling and what kind of ingredients that they are using, which is a substandard. In fact, one of them, one of those oil marketers has rented or leased a land for a depot just next to Dangote's refinery company, so that they can use the end product, which is thrown away, to mix it with the oil that they are selling to locals, which is really putting the people of Nigeria at risk. This is what they are doing. Now, it would be to recall that the usually the calm and reticent Kano-born billionaire recently came out of his shell to launch tirades on regulators of the oil and gas sectors, local and international producers, as well as petroleum products marketers. So the article is saying this Kano born billionaire, referring to Aliko Dangote, he has come out of his shell and he is exposing the lies that they are hiding from the public. Now, in the latest attack, in the latest expose of Aliko Dangote, what he said is he is reacting to a claim by marketers that the refineries' prices are higher than other suppliers, making it difficult for independent marketers to buy from it. So Dangote Refinery claimed its prices are benchmarked against international rates, ensuring competitiveness, alleging that any marketer importing petrol at a lower prices brings in substandard products, posing health and environmental risks. So he's telling them, if you see a marketer selling with a lower price, importing petrol, then that marketer is for sure using a substandard product, which is not supposed to be in that petrol. Quote, this is what he said: "We had lately refrained from engaging in media fights, but we are constrained to respond to the recent misinformation being circulated by Ipman and Petron," these are marketers, "and other associations." He continues, "Both organizations claim that they can import PMS at a lower prices than what is being sold by Dangote Refinery. We benchmark our prices against international prices. and we believe our prices are competitive relative to the price of imports. Post the regulation of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation set the pace by selling this PMS to domestic marketers at Naira 971 per liter for sale into ships and Naira 990 for sale into trucks. He continues, this sets the benchmark for our pricing, and we have even gone lower to sell at Naira 960 per liter for sale into ships and maintaining Naira 990 liter for sale into trucks. In good faith and in the interest of the country, we commenced sales at these prices without clarity on the exchange rate that we will use to pay for the crude purchase. If you remember, one of the things, the problems that he had was that the crude oil, he couldn't buy it from Nigeria. And although Nigeria is the largest crude oil producer not only in the continent, also in the world. So later on, after he exposed that, and then when the Nigerian government started to sell to him, so they agreed to do it in Naira. Naira is a Nigerian currency. And then, so that Naira depends, there is a high inflation in Nigeria, and it's not a constant price, because every time when the dollar fluctuates, it also increases. But even with that, they have set this price as a beginning, and that's what they are using so far, meaning Dangote refinery, although they have been hit by the fluctuation of exchange rates in the country. For example, he said this: we should point out that it's not unusual for countries to protect their domestic industries in order to provide jobs and grow the economy. And he brings, this is actually the person who is responsible for branding and communication in Dangote said this. He brought the example of how the United States and Europe has imposed additional tariff to protect their own producers. But this is really a bad example, because their imposing of additional tariff against Chinese electric vehicles is something, for another purpose. It was not really protectionism or something. They just want to hurt Chinese economy, and they don't want that the Chinese electric vehicle is getting popular. Yes, it's cheaper than the European or the American one, but that's driven because the West is in constant trade war with China. Now, this chief branding and communication officer of Dangote also said that while we continue with our determination to provide affordable, good quality and domestically refined petroleum products in Nigeria, we call on the public to disregard the deliberate disinformation being circulated by agents of people who prefer for us to continue to export jobs and import poverty. Really well said. Now, the Dangote Group also frontally attacked the Pinnacle Oil Limited, an Indian multinational company, of hiring a depot facility next to its plant in Lekki with the objective of using it to blend substandard products that will be dumped into the market to compete with its Dangote higher quality production. This multinational so-called but Indian company, his owner is actually an American, and its CEO the CEO is also the owner. His name is Robert Dickerman, and that is now the new guy that Aliko Dangote has to battle against. Now, for his warped interpretation of deregulation, Dangote Group maintains that the regulation should not be used as a justification to import substandard products. Quote, the Dangote Petroleum Refinery and Petrochemicals Company has long been an advocate of deregulation and industrialization in Nigeria, but our support is rooted in a commitment to the sustainable growth of the country's economy and the protection of its people from any exploitation. So unlike this so-called multinational company and American man's view, the regulation should not be a license for the importation and distribution of off-spec products of subversion of national interests. And the branding and communication chief officer continues. So it's perplexing that despite his experience in the US market, Dickerman is advocating the importation and blending of petroleum products to Nigeria under the claim of deregulation and a free market. So in the name of free market, he is dumping on Nigerian people unqualified or a low quality petrol. And the thing is that the government just watch. They know exactly what this man is doing. But of course, the thing is, they also share this profit. It's a very corrupted system in Nigeria. A number of international, contract frauds are one of the ways where corruption is manifested in Nigeria. So he has been doing for years, and they just allow him to do. Aliko Dangote, whose business potentially can bring Nigeria to a self-reliant in oil production, and also he has injected $20 billion by saving Nigeria from oil imports. That's what Nigeria that's what costs Nigeria, because it's the largest population. So it imports a lot of refined oil, and the cost was annually $20 billion. And that's what this Dangote refinery saves for Nigeria. And Nigeria do not use dollar or anything, and they have to buy that, or they have to get it in the form of loan. So this is really crazy. I really don't understand why Nigeria continues to fight Aliko Dangote, because this is a man, I think, not only Nigeria, but the whole continent should celebrate and, see him as a person. It's really a miracle that this is happening in our generation. And I really don't know why Nigeria do not get it. But after he exposes this, he wants to be quiet. As much as he wants to be quiet and leave these people running their dirty business, but they come at him, they are provoking him. And that's why he's exposing them. Let us know in the comment section, what do you think of the continued plight of Aliko Dangote, and his business, the Dangote Refinery Company in Nigeria. Let us know that in the comment section. Thank you again for tuning in. Please share the video with others. Give it a like if you find it informative enough, and subscribe to the channel. You may support us through our PayPal account. You can find it in the description section. I will see you on the next one. Ciao, ciao.